Just a bunch of poor boys, daddy's girls, children of the cornfield, trying to turn a shift job into a dollar bill. We wear the muddy boots, stay true to how we're raised, ain't nothing bad.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. The winding road to the Super Bowl continues here in the divisional round, where two teams look to take another step towards the Super Bowl. It's the Panthers going up against the Vikings. With that, let's get up to Minneapolis as we say hello to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are on the eastern side of downtown Minneapolis at the gorgeous new U.S. Bank Stadium. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the Carolina Panthers and the Minnesota Vikings. Hello, everyone. As the postseason continues here on EA Sports, we're pleased to bring it to you. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And who has the edge here? You got one side that had some extra rest, but another comes in off a win last week in the wild card round.
And it's funny, depending on which team you are, you say that that's an advantage. You'll take the rest, you'll take the week off, get your guys healed up a little bit and ready to go. But that team that's coming in off of a win last week, they're really excited to keep playing. They feel like they are hot and ready to go.
So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by their quarterback from Central Florida. It's Blake Bortles.
I don't care how many accolades you had in college. There's no such thing as a can't-miss quarterback. But Blake Bortles has shown in his time in the NFL that he's a guy that you can build a team around.
Now the first carry for Brandon Oliver. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. And Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well. But that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out. Finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them. And we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. On 3rd and long, it's Bortles. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Fielded at the 20. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Panthers will get it here as they take possession. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the former Cal Bear, Aaron Rodgers.
I remember meeting him when he was playing at Cal, and I remember walking away thinking, instead of having Rodgers stitched on the back of his jersey, it should just say confidence, because that's how he felt about his own abilities and his ability to elevate a team.
Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he's got this one just across midfield to the 49. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. And this is caught inside the 5. That one goes for 36 yards.
They went for the haymaker there, didn't they? A big shot towards the end zone, and they came up with the catch, but they were tackled short of the goal line. The defense escaped the big one there. Now they've got to try and hold them to a field goal attempt.
So they're operating in the red zone. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll try and run it in with Bell. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Le'Veon Bell taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Panthers are going to take a first-quarter lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here's the Panthers defense as they get set to go again. They were able to force the 3-and-out last time, led to the punt, and then led to a touchdown for their crew. So they'll be looking for a little bit more of that, Charles.
Well, I think that they created the spark with the 3-and-out. Gave a little momentum to their offense and say, all right, appreciate it, guys. And they took the ball downfield and stuck it in the end zone.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. Touchdown, Vikings. 75 yards. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming, then got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again.
And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Bortles was accident-prone last year, led the league with 18 picks and an early pick here.
And you know he spent a lot of time in the offseason working on this, thinking about it. It's not that he's not going to throw any. They just hope that that number gets cut down significantly.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain, and it's second down. Bortles to throw on second down. And he finds Tyler Kroft. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Good use of the pass there to pick up the first down against a defensive look that they had specifically prepared for, they told us, coming into this one.
Certainly seems like they're holding all the right cards now, doesn't it? Because of their preparation. Went back, watched the tape, studied the tendencies, and they feel like they had them down cold, and they were able to use the pass against them.
It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll bring up a second down. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
Here's a carry for Oliver. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a first and goal.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
First and goal, defense with their backs against the wall. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
We talk all the time about how important it is to have leverage in blocking. It's also a big part of policing up gaps. Did you move someone out of the A gap?
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings have taken the lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This will be taken in at the 1. And some good coverage there by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They go back to the air here after the INT. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on and it's second down. And on 2nd and 10 now.
Easy.
The give is to Bell. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. Now Rodgers. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down. Well, he just threw an interception last drive. Nearly another pick.
And things aren't very even right now, are they? It's a little bit sloppy out there, isn't it? It's kind of the difference between driving on those paved roads and those country roads that have those potholes in them, isn't it? That's the way this game's going right now. A lot of bouncy-bounce to it.
You spent some time on some Tennessee country roads.
I certainly have. Plenty of family back there. God love them.
A good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now Bortles, and he connects with Ebron. A pickup of 11, and it moves the chains. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
On 2nd down, here's Bortles. Ebron caught left side. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
On the run, it's Oliver. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. The defense came out with a look that they had prepped for all week to attack. They took advantage, got the first down.
And the key words in there, prepped for all week. They really studied them understood their tendencies, knew what they like to do, and prepared their game plan accordingly. And, boy, the payoff was good.
No gain on the play there, second down. Clock runs, less than a minute to go in an entertaining first quarter of play. Now Bortles throwing on second down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Now the ball comes loose. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll go again with Bell. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Trying to lay one up deep. And this one is incomplete. With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. And off his back foot, he'll heave this one deep. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The intended receiver was Laquan Treadwell. And now it's 3rd down.
That's a bold strike right there, taking it downfield and putting some air on it. But how about the coverage? Able to get his hands across the receiver and bat the ball down.
Well, here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And he comes back with one complete. A great effort there to shed the contact. And it helps him pick up the first. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him,
he rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
One receiver left is Hilton. Throwing is Bortles. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Throwing is Bortles on 3rd down. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite at that level and not of that age. But I remember
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Complete, the tight end Rivera.
Holding, defense.
Got a little handsy there, defensive holding, Charles.
And defenders will get away with as much as you will allow. The 5-yard mark tells the officials where the line should be drawn.
Rodgers now on first down. Completes it to Marcel Reese. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean that's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college. With all the spread offenses, not very many pro style, where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position. It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. He's got it at the 15. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive the team towards a victory.
And he's going to ball his way in for a Panther score. Le'Veon Bell with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Panthers have got it back to a one-score game. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And he'll bang that one through. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yeah,
run what you do best.
On the gas.
Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on second down.
4 down, 4 down. Hey, green, 90.
Bortles to throw on second down. Now he's hit, and Bortles fumbled. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 15. And he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. Their dangerous wide receiver, 85 yards. And the Panthers are going to jump back in front.
When you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach, but it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they mishit the ball and kick it right to him.
Gano for the extra point. It's up and good to make it 21-17. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They run it here with Oliver. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
They go again with Oliver. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
From the gun on third down, Bortles. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. 68 yards. And the Vikings have once again taken the lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
He had a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Marching back out there, ready for the next possession. Here comes the Vikings defense. Obviously a close game from the defensive standpoint. Maybe don't want to blow it too much out of proportion, but how important is this drive?
I think it's huge for them because they've got to find a way to help out their offense, whether it's doing it themselves, taking the ball away and scoring, or setting their offense up in a good position to give them a chance to fully be back in this game.
Well, sometimes that defense triggers the offense. We'll see. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. A reminder, as we did all through the regular season, we'll check in with Larry Ridley at halftime. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third. So 3rd and 15 and an extra defensive back in the game now.
Flooding the passing lanes.
Backing up. He's going to look deep down the field. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. Here's the Panthers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Viking football here as they take possession. Here comes Blake Bortles now to lead his offense back out there. He's been in a pretty good group. They actually have more yards on the ground than through the air, but both have been good, pretty balanced.
And have we ever met a coach when we've talked to him before a game?
And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Vikings. Their dangerous wide receiver, 68 yards. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. It took him less time than that to get the top speed and complete that play.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. And that's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. It's funny, partner. Le'Veon Bell, when he came out of Michigan State, when I go back and look at my analysis of him and what my grades were for him, thought he was a big-time player, great potential, but I didn't know we were going to get this player. I was used to a big, solid, thick running back, but now I've got a full package, a guy who can do everything, as we just saw there, including breaking tackles.
But at the time, 2nd-round pick in 2013, some people probably wishing they'd taken him in the 1st.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks, but doesn't matter what you call the position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
Now Rodgers. It's caught on the left side by Kurz. Touchdown, Carolina! Jermaine Kurz, 52 yards. And the Panthers are able to get this back within a touchdown.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. And he knocks it through. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
From our vantage point, that was just one bad play by the offensive line in a series of really good ones tonight. But I know that they're going to be really ticked off. It's a lot like a baseball pitcher losing a no-hitter late in the game.
So we've come upon halftime. And never mind, Larry. These two teams apparently anxious to get back at it. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. And the Vikings are going to beef up their secondary here. 6 DBs on 3rd. Now it's Rodgers. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt. And so far, it's working for both of them.
Call it a gain of 3, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Bell, and not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He's got Curse. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Jermaine Curse, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Panthers are once again going to retake the lead.
I know we often laugh and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They run. It's Oliver. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
One receiver left is Hilton. Now they'll throw it. Bortles. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
From midfield, here's Bortles. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
This is taken at the 18. 31 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. Carolina getting set to take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
It takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Decent chunk of yardage still left here. 2nd and 7. Again, it's Bell. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Now a play fake here on first down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
Holding offense.
And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
Sliding out of the pocket. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. 17 yards to pick up there.
As if he didn't have enough to think about on that route, the comeback route, coming back to the football and catching it, decided to make sure he toe-tapped and kept himself in bounds.
And that was spectacular, but on the comeback route, maybe a little easier to deal with the sideline since you've got better vision of it.
I think that's a great point because you should know exactly where you're going and know how much space you have and make sure you get your feet down. But, yeah, coming back to the football, I like it. Good vision.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. That's complete to his tight end. This is Lance Kendricks. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them. 2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and we'll still get the first down. They love being physical.
Back to the ground, this time with Bell. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Yeah, let me pump out my chest a little bit. Even though I'm not rooting for either team, that was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Complete outright to Kurz. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Holding offense.
So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they've managed to get it done.
And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. You took the words right out of my mouth. Back now at beautiful new U.S. Bank Stadium. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the fourth. Now Bortles throwing on second down. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
And the Panthers bring in their nickel set as they try to defend here on 3rd down.
5 defensive backs. Now whistles here, and it looks like we've got a Panther that's having some difficulty down there getting up. We'll check on his status when we get back. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
4 down. Green, 90. Green, 90.
Bortles now on first down. Ebron caught left side. And he's eventually brought down, but not before he reaches the 39, just shy of the 40. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. One receiver left is Hilton. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Now Bortles. To the right side to Eric Ebron. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practice now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
And the Panthers coming out now. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. On second down, it's Bell. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And that one good for 16 yards and a first. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. They come up in an offset eye. Now a first down carry by Bell. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from tilting the rock that much.
They come out here in the eye. Now they'll try the sweep with Bell. And he'll get this up to about the 40. That second down run, a big help as 7 yards leaves them with just a 3rd and 3 now. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out. And on 3rd and 3, they decided to go with a dime package. Yeah. 6 DBs.
Yeah, you're right. They've got 6 out there. To throw is Rodgers. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's get back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Bortles again here on 2nd and 10. Quick hitter here, it's complete. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason, it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. And leading here late, so a chance for the defense to really close out this game if they can halt the offense.
Green, 90.
From midfield, here's Bortles. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. Agreed, that's twice now in this fourth quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. A give to Bell. And this time he's able to... And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And he was able to... Another timeout called by the Vikings now. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They'll pitch it out to Bell. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. On 3rd down, here's Bell. And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This from 54 yards away.
But that certainly felt like an example of the defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side. They got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen. They were pitching such a great game. They want to keep it going.
A good effort there from distance, but he might have needed a little more help from the air conditioning behind him on that one. Now he's hit, and Bortles fumbled. It's loose, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Minneapolis, good night, everybody.
Put away your inhibitions. Let the beast in you just get loose. We all young, wild, and different. We can all get from a little. I know you're terrified by what the future lies, but there's no compromising. It's my way or the highway. We all just slave to lust, hard building, breaking trust. Don't get wild when we come out, like don't get loud when the come out. That's instinct. Keep up with your friends thing. Tell they bougie, go wait in line with them lame. Talking real rap, tell them break your neck, gon' bust a rhyme. Throw one down, pass it around. Hey, what with me now? We running wild. Hey, and nobody can. We on the town. Hey, never come down. I never come down. Lose it. I might lose it. Lose it. I might lose it. Everybody got guilty pleasures. Mine just tend to catch me cases. Handcuffs, police inspections, lawyers, judges, allegations. Turn on your favorite station. You hear the same old song. I feel like, dog, I'm about to drop the bomb. Blow one down, pass it around. Hey, what with me now? Nobody can, we on the town. Hey, never come down, I never come down. Blow one down, pass it around. Hey, what with me now? We running wild. Hey, nobody can, we on the town. Hey, never come down, I never come down.